Hello class, how are you? I hope everyone is doing well. I've had some difficulty here trying with these different platforms to record, but I think I'm good to go now. All right, so a couple things first. All right, so we're dealing with measurements now, right? We're talking about degrees, we're talking about radians. So I'm going to try to give you just a real quick. If I make this, and why isn't this turning into, wait a minute, clear, what's happening here? All right, ink this shape. Okay, good. All right, so if I want to draw a circle, there we go. All right, now, let's just pretend for a minute that the radius is 1. The radius in the circle is equal to 1 inch, right? It's always going to be 1. That's all you have to worry about right now. Well, if we take the circle and we go with the circle and we start here and we go all the way around right back to where we started. Of course, we all know that that's 360 degrees. But it also equals 2 pi radians. Once again, we're going to get into radians a little bit later. All right. Now, if there's another circle, let's just say this is also. But now, instead of going all the way around, I'm going to start here, and I'm only going to go halfway around, right to here. Well, we all know that that's 180 degrees, and that equals just pi radians, all right? So it's important for you to know that. So in our conversion here, what we're going to be using is 180 degrees is equal to pi radians. All right, so that's important for you to know. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so it says convert each degree measure to radians. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a look at number 1, shall we? So number 1, we have 80 degrees. I've taught you this before. Anytime you're going to convert in math, you're always multiplying by 1. I don't want 80 degrees. I want radians. This is what I want. I want radians. So how do I do that? I multiply by 1. So I have 80 degrees. So we already know that 180 degrees is equal to pi. So you have two choices. We can either write 180 degrees over pi, or we can write what? Pi over 180 degrees. This is just 1. Since they equal the same measurement, when we divide them, it just equals 1. This is just saying 1 equals 1. We can multiply anything in math by 1 and we don't change its value. So now I'm going to take 80 degrees and I'm going to multiply it. Since degrees is in the numerator, I'm going to use the 180 degrees down the denominator. And up here, I'm going to put pi. So what essentially is happening is your units are canceling. Your degrees are canceling, all right? So now we're going to, well, I don't have a calculator, so what's this going to be? What would that be? 20? 20 goes in 4 times. 20 goes in 9 times. I multiply across. I got 4 pi all divided by 9. This is the same as 80 degrees. So right now it's just simple conversions. That's all we're doing. Let's do another one just so you're good to go. Let's take a negative, I guess. What's number 6 say? 6 says negative 315 degrees. Okay, well, I'm going to multiply it by 1. So down here is going to be 180 degrees, and up here is going to be pi. Once again, my units are canceling, right? And then, oh goodness, this is 45. 45 is going to go into this 7 times, and 45 is going to go into this 4 times. Okay, so I get 7 pi over 4 radians. This is the same thing. Oops, I forgot my negative. Negative 7 pi over 4 is the same as negative 315 degrees. All right. So, all right, let's move on. Let's move on to, I'm going to erase this here. Let's move on to number, I guess, 13. Let's go down to 13. All right. At 13, we have 9 pi. 13, we have 9 pi over 5. 9 pi over 5. All right, so now we want to convert this from radian measure to degrees. Well, once again, let's not forget what we said. We know that 180 degrees is the same thing as pi. So to convert this, I'm just going to multiply by 1. All right, but now since pi is up here in the numerator, I'm going to put pi down here. Up here, I'm going to put 180 degrees. Now, my pi radians are going to what? Cancel. And let me see. 5 goes into 5 what? Once. And 5 is going to go into 180. That's going to be 38, right? 38. And then 9 times 38 is 270. And 72, that's going to equal 342 degrees. We all see how that's done? Let me do number 14 for you, because I'll do, is that a negative? Yeah, it is a negative. 14. All right, so now we're going to do negative 5 pi over 3. Negative 5 pi over 3. You have to be saying to yourself, this couldn't be any easier, right? So now we're going to multiply it. Since pi is in the numerator, pi is going to be in the denominator. Up here, I put 180 degrees. Now, I'm going to cross cancel. I don't have a calculator, so 3 goes in once, 3 goes in what? 60 times. Now, 60 times 5, that's just negative 300 degrees. So you have to admit, if this was any easier, you guys know I wouldn't have a job. Okay, so let's move down to the next section. What do we have? Let's look at number 29. 29. All right, it says we have 78 degrees. 78 degrees. It says we want one positive and one negative that are angled that are coterminal with each angle. Okay, so what does coterminal mean? All right, here's what coterminal means. Look. All right, so this is supposed to turn into a circle. There we go. It's a circle now. Okay, so let's just pretend for a minute we have 78 degrees. So 78 degrees would probably be somewhere right around there. All right, that's what it would be, right? So I'm right here. This here is 78 degrees. Well, class, think about this. If I add 360 degrees to that, I'm right back at 78 degrees. I'm right back. So here's all we have to do. We just have to add, this is going to be 378 plus 360, and that is going to equal 438 degrees. So 438 degrees, 438 and 78 degrees, they're coterminal. They're not that I shouldn't be putting the equal sign. They're not equal. They're not equal here, but they are coterminal, which means you're going to end back up at the same exact spot. All right, and we also have to do, it says we want one that's negative. Well, that couldn't be easier, right? You guys have calculators. You have 78 degrees. Now I just have to what? I just have to subtract 360 degrees. And 18 off of 300 is going to be what? Negative 282 degrees. So they're my answers. All right. So with negative 282, what that's saying is this, that if I started right here and I went negative 282 degrees, I'm going to be right back here at 78 degrees. All right, let's flip your homework page over real quick. So let's look at number 41 if we could. I'm going to clear this page. Let's clear this. Let's look at 41. 41, what do we have here? It says 3 2/3 revolutions. 3 2/3 revolutions. Now, okay, so class, A revolution is one complete way. One. All right. So a revolution is if you start here and you go around one whole time, right? So a revolution is going to be 360 degrees, or it's going to be what? 2 pi. We went around once. Does that make sense? All right, but this isn't once. This is 3 2/3 turns. And this is counterclockwise. We always go what? Counterclockwise with angles. All right, so this is what we have. We're going to change this into what? From a mixed number into an improper fraction. So this is going to end up being 9. This is going to be 11/3 revolutions. Well, class, we just said one revolution is 360 or it's 2 pi. And they want us to go to what? They want us to go to degree measure here. So now I'm just going to take 11/3 times 360 over what? Over 1. Now I'm going to cancel my 3 goes in once, 3 goes in 120 times. So now I got what? 10 times 120 is 1200 plus 120 is going to equal 1320 degrees. How easy was that? It was cake. Let's go down to your last section. Let's look at 45. 45. Now we're going the other way. Okay, we're going to radians. All right, so now let's take a look at 45. We have 2 1/4 what? We have 2 1/4 revolutions. Okay, we're going to change this into an improper fraction, so that's going to be 9/4 revolutions. But we just said one revolution is the same thing as what? 2 pi, and they want us to go to radian measure now, right? So now I just multiply this times 2 pi. Oh man, this is getting easier. Let's cancel our 2's. Goes in once, goes in twice, and I end up getting 9 pi over 2. You can leave your answer like this. You can leave it like this. Or, of course, we could also change this to what? 4.5 pi. All right, class, I am here if you need me. All right, so please reach out to me and let me know if I can help you. I'm thinking of you guys every day, and I hope you guys are staying safe. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye now.